Kate Mosher Hall, welcome to the Friday Heaters podcast. How are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you for having me, Ben.
We are very excited to have you. You've been a friend of Friday Heaters for many years, many years of its existence. We've done a walkthrough of one of your shows here with Hannah Hoffman. But I thought we could just jump in real quick. You just got back from Art Basel Paris. I believe you were in a booth, the Hoffman Donahue Gallery.
Yeah, it was great. I was also in Miguel's booth too.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, because you show with both those galleries.
Yeah, put stuff in both booths. Getting ready to do a show with Miguel next year. So kind of putting it out there, and it's kind of fun because then you can test ideas out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then get feedback back from the booths, being like, what do people think of this or that? Or, you know, where's like energy or like where's conversation happening? And so it's kind of fun to spread it out that way.
Yeah. So the two galleries you've got, can you, for those who are not familiar, Miguel is?
The gallery I work with from New York.
Okay. And that gallery's name is?
Miguel Abreu.
Okay.
Yeah. He's kind of like an icon. Like he's like been down on the Lower East Side you know, for a long time.
Okay.
But I'd also say that Hoffman Donahue also have their own icon energy.
Yes, I agree. We're also big fans of the Hoffman Donahue brand.
Absolutely. It's an honor to work with all of them. Yeah, showed all new work. I think with like my practice, I have like running themes. So there's always kind of like these like parallels going next to each other. So kind of taking something that was like familiar, but then also mixing it with new things.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of fun to like build your lexicon that way, like be like, okay, this is like something I'm coming into, or this is an idea that's like a tangent to something, or actually have no idea and like let it kind of run with like an idea from nowhere.
Did you sell some stuff?
I did, yeah.
And does that, I think we're all, for the Heaters audience that is less familiar with the art world, does what sells or what doesn't sell direct kind of some of the feedback that you're talking about of like what's working?
So funny you're talking about. I was literally on the phone with Hannah yesterday being like, Hannah, I'm getting ready to do this show and I want to talk to you about some of the paintings. You know, like what was like the conversations, where was interest, but like, yeah, like how do we like look and see like where, because it's like there's like a gap there, right? Because I think it's like when you do a show, I'll meet with my peers and my friends and like other artists that I'm interested in like collaborating with or having conversations with, learning with, and talk about the work. And that's like one like community there. And then there's like this whole other side that's like with Hannah where she's having conversations and like this. And so then it's like I'm a little bit like, what are your people saying? This is what my people are saying, you know, like, and then we'll have a discussion about that. Yeah, there is actually like a work where it's a new idea. I've never done it before. Wanted to try it out. It was technically really, really complicated. I called her after I finished the painting and I was like, well, Hannah, I did this painting and I hope no one likes it because I'm never doing it again. It was just like really hard. Yeah. And that's the thing too, like, when you try something new and you don't know exactly how it's going to go, there's other opportunities there. There's like new moments of discovery. You have ideas like architecturally that you're bringing to and conceptually to the work. But there's also so many unknowns, especially when you don't know really exactly how it's going to be finished. I think with that work, it was just really challenging. And so we were talking about it. And I mean, just to be like frank, she's like, no one bought that painting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I did a few studio visits too with some collectors that had like a lot of energy around that painting. They were like, this painting is insane.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, we'll see where this goes. Like why people are interested in it. I know why I'm interested in it. Yeah. But Hannah was like, no, but there's like a lot of energy around it. Like it became like the touchstone. Interesting. To all the other work that was in the booth that I made. Okay. And it was like sort of like this access point, and there was like a lot of like enthusiasm and energy around it. But because it's like weird or different or challenging or whatever, it like occupies a different space. Yeah. I think like mentally for people, and then like physically too, like it's like, I don't know, like there's like different reasons why people collect, you know, and like, so it's like if something feels obscured or like different to like a larger project, it's like a riskier purchase, or like, it doesn't look like the stuff that the museums bought. So like,
right.
why do I want to like, it's
Yeah.
like, so there's like this different thing too that maybe happens in that.
Yeah.
And then so it's like, well, if you keep on going with that project, maybe like there becomes like a greater understanding of it.
Yeah.
But then it's also at the end of the day too, like I ask myself this question all the time, like what kind of artist do I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
I have to kind of push myself in these directions. And even like now I'm sort of like considering making things outside of the realm of painting.
I think sometimes we associate like the best art is independent from the feedback of the marketplace or some of the voices that you're talking about getting feedback from. But it's refreshing, I think, to hear you talk about both you and Hannah, one of the gallerists that represents you, both being interested in hearing from the audience. Do you feel like that's unique to you guys, or are a lot of artists doing that?
I think everyone kind of does things really differently. I think there's like a lot of like mystery around those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of art kind of like hangs on like an element of mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Like how does that work? Like how do you get there? Like
right.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Even like other artists are sort of like what's that relationship, or how do you do it? How does it work? And I think that all those relationships are very, very different. Like even like I feel like my relationship with Hannah is probably different than her relationships with her other artists that she works with. And yeah, like I like being in conversation.
Yeah.
I like hearing stuff. I mean, I even like after my show in New York 2 years ago with Miguel, I made like the show that was kind of all these paintings that were kind of like this feeling of too many tabs open. It was taking different ideas I had around like viewership through frames and like filters and distortions of like how you see things, and I kind of wanted to like run it through like all these different paintings. And so it was like I forget 23 paintings in the show, and they were all different sizes and like different problems to be solved, and like really kind of tried to like push it. And then I had these friends at the show, and I was just sort of like, what's your favorite and what's your least favorite?
That's a nice, straightforward question.
Yeah, like just really, and like just wanted to like see what people thought, because the paintings really differentiated from each other.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're just weird. Like, I'm not going to answer that. It's your opening. Like, have a glass of wine. I'm like, no.
Did anybody take you up on it?
Some people I really had to push them on it. And I was like, my feelings will not be hurt.
Yeah.
Like, they're all the painting. Like, some of them are better than others. Like, it's okay. But like that also, that's my opinion. Other people have different ones. It really varied. It was like all over the place. And then it was interesting. There was like this one painting that like a lot of like my friends who are like video artists really liked. Another one that was like kind of like newer and weird, and like friends that were making art like in parallel with me were like that one. And then there's people were like, I just love it when you do this thing is awesome, this is crazy, it would really flip. And it was also kind of interesting too, where like the favorite and the least favorite were also kind of always hitting with each other.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense. The ends of the spectrum are always maybe like the easier for most people to identify.
Yeah, they're loud.
Yeah.
Or in like, but like in the ways of like loud, like really subtle things too also really speak, right? And also like some people got really excited about being asked that question. They're like, that tiny dog painting at the end, unnecessary, completely like irrelevant to the show. That just ruins it.
Wow, strong opinions.
Yeah, that ruins it. Forgot who said that, and I loved it. And I was like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about why the little dog painting at the end ruins it,
I would imagine that's got to serve you as an artist to be able to tolerate comments like that, to be open to feedback. I feel like feedback is your friend.
There's different like personal investment, I think, that happens in people's practices. Like stuff can be really close to the bone. And like there's actually nothing to really like criticize in it in a way, almost, or like the way that it operates is like on a totally other level of engagement. And then I think for me, like I can have like my relationship to my work and my ideas where you can say, yeah, like everything you make is an accumulation of like everything in your life, and like every terrible amazing thing comes together to make this thing in this moment. But there's also my personal relationship with my work, and then there's also, I know, outside of myself, my work has its relationship with people that like have nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where feedback is actually like interesting,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, for me, I can like separate it and be like, okay, it's not personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a skill I would imagine to
Yeah.
be able to do both, like listen to yourself, shut it all off.
And I go, and I like, I
And
even
then
like,
also-
I think like time does that too anyway when you're an artist, because you can go back and look at work and you can understand it in like a totally different way.
Mm-hmm.
I go back and look at stuff and learn from my past a lot. And I'll think like something was really good and I'll be like, oh, actually, I don't know if I really like that. And then vice versa.
Yeah.
More so than ever. I think because I'm actually kind of more critical of myself. Like, oh, this isn't as good. And like, I guess like, you know, you're like, I don't know. And then you go back and like, actually, I really like this.
You had, I think 5 new paintings at the fair.
Yeah, in the Hoffman Donahue booth, and then two with Miguel.
Two with Miguel, okay.
Yeah.
And were those all made this year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's coming out. This year has been crazy for you. Like you lost your house in the LA fires. Do you feel like the work that you put out with the fairs is reflective of some of that experience, or like kind of an escape from it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would say that my work comes from like my life experiences in some way, right? There's like something that I've like observed or felt that then like comes into the way of like making something that I'm like trying to figure out. And then I think with the fires, really, I think there's like a process of like kind of like, well, also like losing art from other artists too.
Oof.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was like my own things and like my partner's things and like everything that's in the home that we lost. But then it was like, yeah, like this like other like accumulation of like work that other people made that made me kind of realize like or like I had a shift in my relationship to the material in this way, like thinking about like where we like imbue so much like memory and meaning and experience around like things,
Yeah.
you know, in our life, and like what we collect and like what we put around, and like where you develop a relationship with these things and there's like a feedback of time and I guess like consistency. And so I really like kind of had like this moment of realizing when you like actually just like lose everything, like where that relationship where it is with like material gets like kind of strange. You're like, okay, like material, like, so then if you're like not with like the actual thing, like the body and like the fabric of stuff, like where does it exist, you know? And it's like through memory or like through like recreating.
Then when you go to start creating again, and you in a sense it's like a void, all of this stuff is no longer insulating you and around you. I imagine that's a whole different experience then. Does that affect the work that you made?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's also like in this way, like I have like some sort of like interest in maybe some phenomenological aspects of my work.
Say that one more time. Phenomenological. Okay.
So like how something that's being presented in the work is like creating like a thing that's happening in your body.
Yeah.
As a viewer.
Yeah.
Like when you like are looking at it.
Yeah, I use that when I look at a lot of your work. Sometimes I like feel like spirit moving in and out of it, or kind of something's happening to me.
Yeah, there's like a relationship there. And then I think that, you know, I'm like, okay, there's sort of like two things. There's like the thing itself that's like doing that, but then there's also that relationship. And then maybe I kind of have been focusing on that relationship a lot this year.
On the relationship.
Like the sort of like energy that's happening out. Oh gosh, I'm starting to sound so LA woo. Edit that one out. Okay, it would be like I don't know, like it's a bit like I can see what I'm left with is in terms of like an idea of like permanence, right? Is like my body, my mental state, like my brain, you know, like my friendships, my community, like these are all these things that like are still here and where like stuff burned. Yeah. You know, and then it's I guess I see like how they all relate with each other. And like what I want to make is like sort of accentuating those relationships.
Yeah. Okay.
Is how I'd say it.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm tracking with you there. Because in a sense, that's what's really you've had this year. I mean, that's what's been, you've lost all this other stuff, all these other physical things.
Yeah. And I think it's like also just thinking about like when you're an artist, you're so much in the realm of like making. You're like in the world of objects, you know, of images, of like stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
You know? And I think there's also like this moment too where I kind of this year kept on thinking about the fucking banana taped to the wall.
Sure.
And it was like this moment of where like we've just like it was like the bubble popping on the absurdity, you know, of being like, what is everything, art, big, scale. And it was like that was like really, and that this goes through iterations all the time. Like, you know, it's like Duchamp was like absurdist, right? Like he was like the urinal, right?
Yeah.
Art. And then, you know, he did this, you know, a very long time ago, like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And then it like kind of happens again, and you go into this thing where you're like, yeah, like it's a reminder of like the like scale of what is like the limit to all of this, you know, and you just kind of really go into these like things of like what is important.
Yeah.
And I think for me too, I just like really feel like very specific in what I'm interested in and what I'm doing, and like that being connected to like my family and my friends and my community. And like I don't know, I mean like the world feels like it's like all on fire all the time, you know. You know, and like you're just like, where even in like all of this like terrible shit, still find like joy. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, what is that from, and like where is it through? And it's like kind of like sharing these moments and like sharing the things that we do have.
Yeah.
It's like a very like you let it all go, and then you like and then the hard part is like letting it all come back in.
Cool.
You know.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to accept anything. People were like, do you need socks? And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't have any socks. And I was like, nope, don't need it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
That makes sense, because I remember texting you months ago. You know, I always am texting you about like various things, but
like, let me do this sweet kind thing for you. And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Don't need it.
I was like, cool. I'm not going to take it personal. I'm just going to like.
Yeah, it was everybody.
I just assumed. Yeah.
It was like across the. I just like it was really hard to like bring, because I think it was like you're sort of like saying goodbye to so much, you know, and then you're like, okay, it's like all just like these things that you're saying goodbye to.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're like, someone's like, here's some pants, and like I don't want those pants.
Yeah.
I want my pants.
Yeah.
Like, well, these can be your pants.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not ready for them to be my pants.
Yeah. That's the mourning process too, of like thinking, rushing back in. It's like, okay, now you're empty of all this stuff. Like the worst maybe therapeutic choice would be to like quickly sweep a bunch of stuff back in.
Yeah, you're letting something out. Things are trying to come in. It's like they're conflicting energies, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, you just have to kind of be really present for what you're feeling in that moment, and just like kind of honor it.
Wow, that sounds, I mean, that illuminates for me, like having wondered, like, I wonder how you're doing, like how's it going, like, and not, you know, not wanting to like intrude, but now that I hear you say it that way, it's just like, oh wow, that feels very appropriate. It feels very healthy, and like yeah
no,
good job.
It's also like I was thinking about it, I am in like a year, and I kind of go through cycles like this, I realize, of like being really external, really like very social person, and then I will go into phases in my life where I go really internal. Yeah. I'm like, I talk to like 3 people, and I mean, I'm talking to more people than that, but I'm like kind of in more solitude. Yeah. And
does that mirror a lot of the creative process for you too? Like, do solitude times parallel times where you're creating more?
They both inform the work. Okay. I think I'm always like in a state of like thinking about creativity, you know, or like inspiration. It's probably more of like a speed change, actually. Like when I'm like really extroverted, everything's really fast. Okay. Yeah. There's like a lot of like movement, you know? Yeah. And then when I'm really introverted, it's like slower. It's like the days are kind of like, there's not like 1,000 things to do all the time that I've like made for myself. It's more of like, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
So there's like a focus and like a pace that changes.
Yeah. In football in college, they had a mandatory study hall for the team during the season because time was so short and because everything's so structured that everybody's grades were way better in season than they were when everything was super busy, rather than when they had all spring to kind of chill and not have to worry about it. That's what came to mind. Sports and art. Go figure.
I mean, I have like a weird secret sports side.
Art and fitness or sport or activity have been dissociative of each other, but I think more in the 21st century, it seems like when we hang with artists, everyone's curious and got their their like health and wellness routine, or just more privy to it. It's not just like coffee and cigarettes anymore. What's your activities?
Oh man. Like, I guess right now I'm into like, so I just jump all the time to different things that I like.
I was like, you're a jumper. Okay.
Yeah. Terrible at jumping, actually. Okay. I can't jump rope.
Okay.
It's weird.
Oh, that's a whole nother.
It's hard. But I've been really into cycling. And cycling has come in and out of my life in this way, I think, as like a healing tool. Because it's kind of got this like way of like traveling and pace.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like something like the linearity of like moving through things.
Totally.
That helps with processing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, oh, what do I want to do to like help like work through this idea?
Yeah.
Then I do find that riding my bike has been nice. And so I've been doing the hills in Griffith.
Cool.
And that's really fun.
Okay, so cycling's the new jam.
Cycling's the new jam. Yeah, right now.
With your artist friends, do you feel like people chat about, am I right or wrong on that are artists talking with each other about like fitness or health and wellness?
I would say not totally, like everyone that I talk to.
Yeah.
So I still have like a bunch of friends in like the like sort of like disabilities like art like movement,
okay.
I'd say. And so then like there's probably like other conversations there around just like maintaining.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just like trying to like just be in spaces.
Yeah.
You know, I would say that I have like some friends that are like really into like what's your lineup in the morning of tinctures and vitamins. And
nice.
Like this thing's working.
Yeah.
This thing feels great.
Yeah.
Oh, I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And as I get older, it's like the shelf just keeps on expanding.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
I think it's also like this year's just been so fucked up. Like my, we can swear on this podcast.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I
okay.
think, it's an arts. It's a creative podcast.
Yeah. This is, The sponsors aren't going to get mad.
No, we're rock and roll here. It's
hard because it's like it's been such a hard year. And like, even like my mom got this terrible diagnosis this year with Alzheimer's disease. Yeah. And then I like look like her. I did face app the other day and I literally look like my mother, old.
Oh, like when you made yourself older?
Yes. Okay. And then I love my mother. She's beautiful. And I was like, you look so beautiful. And I was like, our genes are so close. And so then I have like this like inevitable feeling of like, you know, and so like I like have so many like tinctures that I'm taking for like brain health. Thinking about like microdosing mushrooms again to be like, I think this is all like really good for like, you know, neurostimulation and like everything that I've read about it. There's like a lot that's coming out, but you know, like just pounding lion's mane.
You and I talked about this a little bit already too outside the podcast, but sauna also great for some Alzheimer's data, sweating and getting the brain
Can I actually put that in as my favorite exercise?
The sauna?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can kind of
Can you change
Frankenstein
it around?
that.
Yeah. So my favorite way of exercising is the sauna. No, I'm like I love like a dry sauna.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because when I was younger and like learning, I just like kind of like learned to like kind of, I don't know, like I just started going to the K spas with friends. And then I was like, I don't really know how this all works, but I know that I really like it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, really, like, I'd get so much anxiety in the dry sauna. It was kind of like where I felt the most uncomfortable.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I was just like, there's not anything happening.
Yeah.
Like the steam has like some sort of like activity.
Yeah, it's like steaming and
Like
sound.
the jacuzzi is really obviously
Mm-hmm.
like delicious as a space to be in,
The
and
delicious jacuzzi.
yeah, delicious jacuzzi, and then like the cold plunge is always exciting, whatever, you know. But I think that like dry sauna, like really makes you like sit through it. There's like a different sort of like mental fortitude that happens in that space that also just really feels like it, kind of like is more challenging. And then I think my friends also experience that when we go into these spaces together. They're just like, oh, I can't stand here anymore. And I'm like, 5 more minutes.
Sweet.
And they're like, Kate, you're so competitive. I'm not.
Well, yeah, if you like it, but I think too, it's like everyone is just so busy. It's just another example of and juggling so many things, especially I would imagine for you amidst the year you've had, and then your career has been taken off over these last several years, and you're creating a bunch of stuff. Like to sit still in a quiet space, especially one that's like super hot. It's a challenge, but I think it's so good for us to find opportunities to do that. Because the rest of life is just like a fire hose.
Yes.
Of activity.
Totally. And like and as I told you too, like I'm like been really off of social media as much as possible.
Yeah.
And trying to condition my brain to kind of be in a different flow than what's happening with it when I've been like really on the smartphone. On like something can I tell you my sauna pattern?
Sure. Yeah. We can.
It's like my friends tell me it's the way.
Yeah.
They're like, I never thought of it this way, and I talked about it and this is the thing I love about the sauna too, is that I meet so many interesting, amazing people, and it's like intergenerational, and you're just sort of like there, and you're like sharing notes.
Yeah.
And so me and this other lady had the same routine. She was older than me, and I really think it's the way. So you shower.
Yeah.
Then you do hot tub.
Okay.
And you stand for as long as you can till you get to the point of like, I'm super hot.
Yes.
And then normally
15 minutes or so.
Yeah. And like, I think that people would be like, okay, now I'm going to cool down.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're primed. You're ready for dry. So you do hot tub. You're super hot.
Wow.
I can't be in here anymore.
Interesting. I've never done that. Hot tub to sauna.
100% just go straight into the dry sauna.
Yeah.
I even dry off before going into the dry sauna so then I can see the amount that comes out.
Extra sweat that you get. Interesting.
Yeah. So then because you're already so hot, your body's like there.
Yeah.
So when you go in there,
the effect is right away.
It's right away. So then it's like you get to work, because then it's like if you cool off and then go warm up, you're losing 5-10 minutes right there.
Yeah, I agree. When I do a cold plunge into a sauna, for me, if I stay longer than like 90 seconds in the cold plunge, it takes me too long in the sauna to get back to that high temp.
Yeah, it's like all the acclimation that happens, right?
I'll have to try that.
So yeah, and then after that you do the cold plunge.
Yeah. Then you've really earned it.
Yeah. It's like really the way. And then I just cycle that.
I want to just, for clarification, because I'm not familiar with this. You mentioned disability and that you're around artists with disabilities.
Yeah.
Is there like a focus of that, or like a community that I'm not privy to? I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that there's like disabilities advocates in the creative world, but in like the arts world, there's definitely like communities of artists with disabilities.
Okay.
For sure. Like there's spaces that aren't totally accessible, and so it's like when you have a gallery space that doesn't have accessibility, it's like you're already saying like who can show here, who can see this work,
Yeah.
Also like a lot of like advocacy for like ADA, like signing at like lectures, really like amazing work being made like out of those communities.
Yeah.
For sure.
What originally like pulled you into those communities? I feel like I don't talk to many artists. This is the first time it's come up with a conversation with an artist for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd say that like I just have like friends with disabilities.
Okay.
I think from when I was a younger artist too, like because I was in my shooting accident that I was in when I was 18, and then my face was like really more paralyzed when I was younger.
Okay.
And so there was like something that I was sort of like next to in community, I'd say, where I don't like have like a physical like disability where I can do certain things, but that other people can't. But it was like sort of like next to.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Like disability comes in different ways. It was like the experience of like accident, break, permanent damage, like these sort of things.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want to wrap on it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of Heaters audience would not be familiar with some of that backstory. But one of the first works of yours that I saw was an X-ray of your skull.
The self-portrait.
Yeah. And when I read about that piece of work, I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
Kate was shot.
When I was younger, there was like a lot of like cathartic sort of reaction that came from making. Like I wanted to like put it out there and like look at it and see it and experience it, but also like learn from it. And then there's like other parts where it's like it's just not there, but sometimes it's totally there. In like a really literal way. But yeah, for me, it's just like life's crazy. Yeah. And I mean, without getting into like a whole long story about it, but yeah, when I was 18, I was downtown and there was a fight that broke out in a parking lot, and I was just like kind of bopping around. It was on Halloween. It was the night before Halloween. It was actually on Cabbage Night, October 30th. And we were running around like going to different shows and venues and like sort of like incredible circumstances of the fight broke out in the parking lot. I was in the front seat of a car and the bullet like went through the back side window and then like through the seatbelt buckle and then like behind my ear and then like clear out my mouth. Whoa. And then they never found the bullet, and it like never was like anywhere in the car. All the dash, like all the windshield, like everything was intact. Yeah. So like to this day, they have no idea what happened to the bullet. And they scanned the car to see if it was in the car, and they couldn't find it. Whoa. And they scanned my body, and it was not my body. Yeah. So I don't know, it's just like, and then what happened to me in that is it missed my jaw, it missed my teeth, it like grazed my tongue, and it severed my facial nerve. Okay. And I had like 2 surgeries like shortly after. Like, I was in the hospital for one night, and then they're like, you go home. Yeah. And then crazy. Right. Yeah. You go home, and then we'll just like see what happens, because it could just be that the nerve is like shaken from the like my teeth felt loose. Okay. Because the trajectory of the bullet it basically like the energy, it vibrates. Yeah, for sure. And so my facial nerve was severed, and then I had some surgeries to try to get some to reconstruct the facial nerve so my face wouldn't atrophy. Okay. So then over time, there's been like other sort of like elements of like things coming back here and there like a little bit, or like blood flow happening. Yeah. But that was like what happened. Yeah. And so then my eyelid, I have a platinum plate in my eye. So my eyes, where they blink, is I control the right side of my face with my left side. Whoa. So I can blink my left eye independently, but I can't blink my right.
So they blink together.
So it blinks together. And so what happens is the weight, you have that cross nerve in your face, counters it, and it's able to pull, it's like that extra bit of weight pulls it down more. Okay. Where it wouldn't close. Okay. So I have like some little quirks.
Do you feel like a sense of pride in that? Because as someone that hears it and knows you as a friend of you, it's like it's something I admire.
Yeah, no,
that's my experience.
It's like life fabric. You know, it's like these things. It's like it's definitely a part of me. Yeah. There's times in my life where I really wish it didn't happen, and there's times where, listen, do you want to get into the crazy part of the story here? Because we can get into it. Yeah. I was 18. I was shot. Later on, the gene stuff I was telling you about with my mom. My mom has this genetic mutation called Leiden factor 5. Leiden factor 5. Which is where your blood clots like really easily. And they guess it's a mutation from like when people would like be in battle and they'd get cut and they'd bleed out and die. There was like an evolutionary thing where the blood would start clotting. So then you wouldn't bleed out. When I was shot, I did not need a blood transfusion or anything. It was like I didn't bleed out, and it was like a deep head wound. years later, I had to get a surgery separate from this.
Yeah.
And my mom found out she had this, she got a blood clot in her leg. And they're like, this is what you have. She's like, you should check it before you get surgery. I go and get it done. I have also this gene.
Wow.
And I didn't bleed out from my gunshot wound.
Wow.
Because probably because of this
Yeah.
thing. And then...
Because I remember reading there was a lot of blood, but you didn't bleed out to the point that...
Yeah, it was like, I mean, it's like the visual of it is like crazy,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, they were just like, you're fine.
Wow.
I know. It's just like walked away like the next day.
So my mind immediately goes to the fact that you're probably the descendant of some really like savage badass.
Some real fucked up people
like,
that like...
warriors. That
yeah, something like...
You're probably, you're just naturally...
Just like ready to get shredded.
Yeah.
Did it make you feel like a badass, or was it a lot of mixture of being kind of shook and from it?
You go into such... the experience of that adrenaline is crazy. Because it's like... And I think from experiencing that too, I think of adrenaline in this really... Whenever I do experience adrenaline rushes...
Mm-hmm.
Time changes and the way information imprints on your brain changes. So like if you've ever like even just been like driving and like you see like you almost get into a car accident, you replay that like high details of like what that was like so clearly. And so it's like this weird drug that you're experiencing in it, you know? So you're like hyper focused. You're like in survival mode. Your body kicks into this thing. And I think when it was happening, I was like so certain I was just like my ear was shot or something. I was like really confused because I also used to watch like a lot of like medical, like ER shows a lot as a kid. I kind of thought I was going to be like an ER doctor or something.
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't go that way. But I think that I just kept on analyzing the situation because I was so hyper fixated on it, right? Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm bleeding out of the back of my head and out my mouth, but I'm alive. So
what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah.
And then I could feel that my mouth was sore, but all my teeth were there and my tongue was there, but I could tell there's like a cut on my tongue. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe it shot my ear off.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell my parents I fell through, because I'm in high school at this point. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to tell my parents I fell through a glass window and my ear got cut.
Genius.
You know, and they'll never know that. This is literally what was on top of my mind. They will never find out that this happened. It was like it was going to be a secret. And the thing that you really, I think, feel is, you know, when you're like out in the world and someone like throws a ball and you get hit in the head, you know, and you're like this thing and everyone like sees you get hit, you experience embarrassment.
Yeah, totally.
You know, so there's like this thing too where all my friends who are in the car with me were freaking out and they're witnessing it. So they are like seeing it, but I'm like seeing them freak out. And so then there's like this thing of like, they're like, what's your last name? Who are you? What's going on? I'm like, don't look at me. Do not talk to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
It's like apologetic. You're feeling
Yeah. You're like, I'm good. Yeah. Don't look over here.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, there's like this real reaction of like, this is going to be okay. It's not a big deal. Like, don't look at me, you know, like, it's okay. Just keep on driving. Like, we're going to be fine, you know? And it's like, you're just like how you negotiate that in your head. And so it's really bizarre kind of like what you process. And that afterwards, I really felt like a badass. It was like
because you're a teenager, you've been shot in the head. You're like, I walked out the next day.
Yeah. I mean, and then it's like weird too, because then you become like this like story, this lore of the town too, right? You become like also like strangely like pathologized as like this person in the town of like why you were who you are, what happens, then you survive and then you go through all this stuff, right? But it gave me like a lot of bravery, perhaps overconfidence, but also a major appreciation to be alive.
Yeah.
Like really, like I was YOLOing before YOLO was YOLOing, you know, like I was really like, I was just enjoying, you know, whatever life had to give.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just say where it kind of ties around, that's hard, is that I got some money from the accident, is how I bought the house that burnt down.
Oh, crazy. Whoa,
That
full
was,
circle.
yeah. So the house was sort of like this like silver lining
Holy shit.
to like this thing where I was like, I saved that money.
Yeah.
Like I got it when I was like 19, 20.
Yeah.
And then saved it.
Wow.
I didn't touch it. And I went to school and like I got a job and I like worked really hard at that job.
Yeah.
And then I got a loan and I was like in my late 20s and I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm so scared. I'm going to take this leap and I'm going to buy this house and do this thing.
Wow.
And then like the house like needed a lot of work, worked on it, like put so much like life energy into it. And then it was like, and then it burnt down.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like this thing where you're like, this is weird.
Whoa. Yeah.
Life is really, like, it's like.
The through line in all of this is crazy.
It really is crazy.
Where did the discipline come from, do you think, at that age to be like, you gifted this money and then to stay focused like that? Where did that come from?
I guess I was like scared of it, honestly. It was like, I didn't know what to do with it. I was afraid I would like fuck it up. My parents were never great with money. And like, no one ever taught me.
Yeah.
No one ever said like, you can do this with this. Or like, this is, it was like really foreign. Weirdly, like knowing it was there gave me like a sense of like, I can do things in a way, or like I can take more risks, or like take a leap, I can be an artist.
Worked out.
I can be an artist. I can do these things. It's just like, you really have to, I'd say that there's no guarantees. Yeah. And I feel like it's like pretty raw this year. It was like a lot to navigate and deal with. But I guess now I'm sort of like sitting in it and I'm like, okay, like where I did find like silver linings, or, like ways of like, what is it to survive, or like, how do you come through all this stuff, at the other end of it. There's like so much that you just don't ever know. Yeah. But there's like potential for great things. And there's always like tragedy, and there's like calamity, and like you just have to know that it's all ahead of you. Even though I'm really like kind of into these like quantum theories of where like what you choose, what happens in the future like changes your past and stuff. And
yeah.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, they're like, you can like you're actively changing what happens in your past. Yeah. Like right now. Like it like rewrites itself all the time.
Interesting.
There's like all these like strange paradoxes that like come through in these like ways of talking about or thinking about like variables in the quantum field.
Yeah. Rather than have you try and explain that to me, who I probably would not track well enough with it. I feel like I trust I understand what you're saying.
I'll tell you one thing that was like really trippy about after the fires in art related ways. I made a painting right after for Freeze, and I kept on thinking about this one painting that burned in my house. Yeah. That I made. Yeah. And it's like this motif I was doing a long time ago when I was in undergrad, of this like house.
Yeah, I saw that painting.
Yeah. And in my house was the painting of this house. Yeah. And I was like, it's so weird that I like had this weird house motif. And it's I'll describe it. It's like the basic shape of a house. And then there's like 3 circles in it that kind of look like a scream map. Like I was interested in like anthropomorphic sort of ideas and themes, and also the ideas of like the face and objects. Obviously, like sort of navigating my own ideas around my face. Sure. And like reading a face. I had this house painting, and I kept on thinking about the house painting burning. And then I go into my studio, and I haven't been into my studio in a bit. And in my studio, I have like 5 like different tchotchkes of houses, like everywhere in the studio. I have like these 2 like light lamps that like are in the sockets of houses. I have a little mini ceramic house. I have a bell with a house on it. I have like a piggy bank that's a house, all lined up in the studio. And I never was like, I have a big collection of like house trinkets. But then I was like, I have a big collection of house trinkets. This bizarre feeling like of when some big event happens, it's either a coincidence that I just have like all this like house shit that I was making like before my house burnt down.
Got it.
Or did I know because like the way that the
You were
timeline
preparing.
is not actually linear, but we experience it linearly because we're 3-dimensional beings, not 4th-dimensional beings.
Yeah.
And like the night before I shot, we were listening to this song by the band The Faint that was like "Take Me to the Hospital."
Oh yeah.
We were literally
love that band.
blasting
Know
that
song.
song
I know that
driving
song.
into downtown.
Yeah.
Take me to the H. Take me to the.
Yeah.
And then I remember we were even like, "No one's going to the hospital tonight." And then I go, guess who?
Oh,
The person who was calling shotgun the whole night to sit in that seat. Me.
Wow.
Yeah. And like, it's of course, you'd be like, this is a coincidence. Of course, Kate. Like, that's like, if you could have done that any other night, but because like the circumstances of the event, like accentuates it, makes it feel like that's something that's happening, you know? I'm like, I feel like totally like a crazy person under these circumstances where, you're like,
no way.
I've got house totchkis all in my studio because it's fun.
Yeah.
Or time is nonlinear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just this special gift of like, whoa, life is incredible. And there's something beyond us that.
I think that's why I try to like work with these ideas of like scale and the experience of scale, like all the time in my work. I'm always like, I can't help but feel like really like driven to try to understand like what's happening.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
This is crazy. You know?
Maybe the most, I mean, your CV just reads like one badass badge of honor after another. You were a drummer in an all-female punk rock band. You mentioned it a little bit earlier. You hinted at it a little bit earlier. But I feel like I want to at least bring that up briefly. So that's part of your story, I guess.
It's a huge influence, for sure. I think that it was like me like coming into community in a meaningful way. Like where in high school, it was not my place. Totally, you know? And then it was after high school, I found my people. And it was like through music. And now that I'm like further away from like the moment, like where I see how it sits with me now is one, like drumming is like I don't know, I'm like having this like love for drumming again right now. I guess I always have had it, but how much drumming is just so expansive and like so emotional and like spiritual and also like everywhere. Like as a practice, my experience of my accident, how drumming was like a real healing tool for me. And like really like emotional, spiritual, physical space to be in while like collaborating with like my best friends on punk music. And like speaking to like a community of people that like felt like they felt the way that we felt or something, you know, and like connected to that energy. Because my whole MO after I was shot was just to hit the drums as hard as I could. I was actually not very technically good.
Punk is a great choice then.
Yeah, punk was a good choice. See, it's all about making good choices. And so, yeah, I just like really went for it. Because of was there anger inside at all, or just the like? I think there was a little bit. I think there was a little bit. I mean, I didn't go to therapy yet. I was like, you know, really just like, this is all I want to do. And it really resonated with people. I think like there was like also that thing too, like where people like kind of heard the story about me. They'd come, they'd watch this band that was already like very, very cool before I was in it. I was a fan of the band. Like I was like, being in that band is like a dream come true because they were the coolest band in LA.
Name of that band, just so that people know.
Miko.
Miko.
Yeah, come and be a part of that and be brought in. And then I was just like, okay, my job is just to hit. And then people really like felt it. They were like, holy shit, you hit those drums very, very hard. And it was like a response. They were like, good Lord. You were letting it out. And I think that was like something that was like really powerful as like an expression and like also just seeing. And I think that like kind of became an early theme for me of like the drums are kind of like this grid, this metronome. We connect to it.
Totally.
Heart, you know, it's like bodily. And then I was like realizing it was like in this like gat, splat, repetition that, and because I wasn't really technically savvy, that there was like a lot of emotional expression that happened over that like binary, basically. It just don't,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like, what is it to express yourself over that?
Yeah.
And it was cool to see that come out in that.
Hmm.
I see that a lot in the printmaking that I do and
Yeah.
like art that I'm interested in like these iterations, like how does something like come through these like systems or these devices or these mechanisms. And I was like, there's like something there that's being like expressed through it too.
Yeah.
You know, because there's like a lot of like thought that goes into like how something's made and the concepts and its like relationship to art world, canons, whatever. You know, there's like all these ways you can access it. But actually at the end of the day too, there's like something else there.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying about the tangibles and the intangibles.
Yeah. Wow. And here we come full circle.
I try to be really tidy.
Yeah. I would say you nailed it.
Yeah.
Having been in the music industry for like my 20s and early 30s in bands, I often heard people reference was like drummers end up making great music producers. And I think there's something to that. And it makes me think of drummers being great artists as well. There's like a breaking of the brain that takes place, having to learn how to physically maneuver your body in ways that are not intuitively fluid to us, because your limbs have to actually be operating at different beats and different timings.
Yeah, it's like it occupies a different space. And it does do something weird with like neuroplasticity for sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't pat my head and rub my stomach before I became a drummer.
Right.
And now I can pat my head and rub my stomach real good.
Yeah, I bet.
Like we've been talking for 3.5 hours, Kate. I think
that was great. Friday Heaters. That was the Kate Mosher Hall podcast interview, hang, friend sesh. We'd love to have you back. We have to do this again sometime.
Yeah, we have to do it in a year where I'm not like in my like fuck because I really can be super funny and charming, but then it's like I was, even when I was coming up here too, I was like, I'm feeling heavy this week. Well, because it's the 21-year anniversary. I've been like kind of
I did that. I was like clicking around because I read the article. I remember the paper you wrote, you define the date of October 30th. Yeah.
And I was like I always go through like a very introspective time around this time. But then I was like, I don't want to keep on saying no. And I was like, fine, I'll just do it. I'm just going to do it. Be Spence. Great.
Thank you.
And I was like, you're so posy and like little stuff. And I was like, well, I'm coming in. It was like not the Halloween edition.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think
shit's real crazy out there.
I felt like the truth of your experience, but it didn't feel
too
dark
heavy.
and heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. But thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, you guys.